Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk about how to change your Jupyter notebooks into Python files and how to use Spyder to do the code development. Spyder is much more convenient for serious code development than Jupyter, especially because it has a much better debugger. And I think the interface also is somewhat more convenient. Alright, well you can see here that I have my Google Drive open. And I'm going to open a Python notebook here. And then I'm going to go to File and then Download. And here we download it as a .py file. All right, so that's a Python file. And here I want to save it. Okay. So this should be saved in my download folder. If I go and look in my download folder, you will see a file that looks like this. Here it says copy of Anderson Epidemics on Networks.py. All right, this is a Python file. It can be opened using Spyder. Now, how do you get Spyder? Spyder is a part of Anaconda. If you don't have Anaconda, you can go to anaconda.org. This is really the best way to do Python. And you can go to download and download the version that's appropriate for you. There is a Mac version. I have Windows here, but there is a Mac version you can see right here. There's also Linux for anyone who does Linux. Don't think there is anybody in our class. But so you download Anaconda, you install it, which takes some time. You can just use all the default options for Anaconda when you install. And once you've installed Anaconda, then part of Anaconda is something called Spyder. So I can just go to my Windows search and type Spyder. Hello. And you can see the icon here. It looks like a spider web. All right, I'm going to start that up. And you don't see the splash screen. It's on my other monitor, but I'll drag over the Spyder so you can see it. It should come up as Spyder 4. I think it's still on Spyder 4. That's the version I have. Okay, and Spyder will come up like this. Now yours may not be black and white like this. It may be the other color. There are a lot of options. You can go to Tools and Options and set a whole bunch of stuff. You can set the fonts, a lot of stuff you can change. Very powerful interface. And I'm going to go ahead and open the file I just created, okay, which is in my Downloads folder and should be right here. This should open right up. Now, the only thing about Spyder is that the display is not so pretty. All of the code cells have become comments. And here you have these other commands. But the program should run pretty much the same way that it runs in your other, in Jupyter. Let me just demonstrate what is the really key feature here is the debugger. All right. So if I want to use the debugger, for instance, I can put a breakpoint here. Right. Then I go to debug and debug. Notice that debug is also Control F5. And it should execute up to that point. Now, what I can do is conveniently and accurately query different variables. For instance, xlim is here, so I can ask for xlim. This is called the command window, and this is giving all of the commands that are going on. And there we go, this. All right. And I can set breakpoints at will. For instance, if I want to go inside the first loop. This is how the Jupyter debugger should work, but doesn't work too well. So I can put a breakpoint here, and then I can go debug and continue. And there won't be any problem, right? So let's see what ag home is. There we are. And if I want to see agents.home, there we go. So those are the homes, all right? So, and you can continue like this. Very good way to see what's going on in your code. All right, and as I said, no problems with this debugger, works very well. Right. And of course, if you want to modify the code, you just go in here and you have to type. The difference between Spyder and Jupyter is that you do need to save changes or they're not saved. Jupyter saves changes automatically, but here we've got this code. It's a much better interface. If you want to share this back with me, you can upload back to your drive and then share with me. Let me see if I can find my drive. Here's my drive here. I should be able to go to New and File Upload, and you can upload here and then share with me. All right. So I highly recommend that you use this form of code development going forward. Spyder is nice, really nice. It just doesn't have as nice comments to it. All right, so that's it.